Welcome back. This channel exists because of your support. Subscribe, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get into the story. Tuesday, September 3rd, 11:47 p.m. My restaurant had been closed for an hour. Chairs up, lights low. I was wiping down the bar when my phone buzzed. Her text, "Are you even coming home tonight?" I stared at it. Read it twice. Set the phone face down on the counter and kept wiping. 6 weeks earlier, my wife Rachel had looked at me in our kitchen. I'd come up behind her, put my arms around her waist while she was loading the dishwasher, and she pulled away like I'd burned her. Didn't even turn around. Stop begging for intimacy, Nate. It's pathetic. Pathetic. That word, said to a man who just wanted to hold his wife while she rinsed a plate. Not in a fight. Not after an argument. Just a Tuesday. Just arms around a waist. Pathetic. So I stopped. Not as revenge. Not as strategy. I stopped because something inside me broke in a way that doesn't make a sound. I stopped reaching for her hand. Stopped brushing her shoulder walking past. Stopped waiting up. Stopped asking if she wanted to watch something together. Stopped everything. And now, 6 weeks of silence later, she wanted to know if I was coming home. My name is Nate Russo, 41. I own Faro, a 12-table restaurant on Alberta Street in Portland, Oregon. Italian Pacific Northwest. Handmade pasta, local fish, seasonal everything. I built it from a food truck 4 years ago with my savings and a second mortgage. 6 staff. 60 covers on a good night. Not famous. Not trying to be. Just good food made by someone who gives a damn. Rachel and I met in 2012 at a friend's birthday at Pock Pock on Division. She was an accountant, just made senior associate at a tech firm downtown. Precise, quiet, beautiful in a way that sneaks up on you. Dark hair, serious eyes, a laugh that came out like it surprised even her. We married in 2014. Small ceremony at Cathedral Park under the St. John's Bridge. Her dad walked her down. My mother cried. Owen came 2 years later. Our son. 10 years old now. Serious kid. Watches everything. Says little. Misses nothing. For the first 5 years, we were solid. She'd come to the restaurant after work, sit at the bar, drink Barolo, watch me plate. Some nights, she'd stay until close, and we'd walk home through the neighborhood, her hand in my coat pocket because she forgot her gloves. Every single time. I don't know when it stopped. That's the thing nobody tells you. You don't notice the day it goes quiet. You just wake up one morning and realize the silence has been there so long it's become the furniture. Thursday, July 18th. 2 months before that text. The night it actually started. Not the stop begging night, earlier. The moment I should have paid attention. Owen had a baseball game at Alberta Park. I left Faro early, had my sous chef close, and made it by the 3rd inning. Rachel was in the bleachers, phone in hand, not watching. Owen hit a double, drove in 2 runs. The other parents cheered. I was on my feet yelling. Owen looked to the stands with that 10-year-old grin, looking for his mom. Rachel was texting. Ratch. He just hit a double. She looked up. Oh, nice buddy. Smiled. Went back to her phone. Owen's grin dimmed. He saw it, turned back to the field, and adjusted his helmet. Something in his shoulders changed. After the game, Owen walked to me first. Not her. Didn't say anything about it. Didn't have to. In the car, I asked Rachel who she'd been texting. Diane. Work stuff. Diane Holloway. Her life alignment coach. Not a therapist, a coach. Online certification. Instagram following. Talked about feminine energy reclamation and deprogramming from codependency. Rachel had been seeing her for 4 months. Twice a week on video calls. $300 a session. I didn't know about the cost until later. Friday, July 19th. Rachel was on a call with Diane in the bedroom. Door closed. I was in the hallway putting away laundry. I heard fragments. He always wants something from me. Physically. Emotionally. It's constant. Pause. I know I need to set the boundary. But he'll make it into a thing. Pause. You're right. If he can't respect my space, that tells me everything I need to know about him. I stood there holding a stack of Owen's t-shirts, listening to my wife describe my love, my arms around her waist, my hand reaching for hers, my wanting to be near her. As a burden, she needed professional help to escape. Saturday, July 20th. I put my hand on her knee on the couch. We were watching a movie Owen had picked. She moved her leg. Didn't look at me. Just moved. Sunday, July 21st. I suggested we go to Cannon Beach for the day. Just the 3 of us. I have a call with Diane at noon. Maybe next weekend. You had a call Friday. She moved my Thursday to Sunday. It's fine. That's $400 a week, Rachel. It's $300. And it's important. What are you working on with her? She looked at me with an expression I'd never seen before. Like I'd asked to read her diary. My growth, Nate. I'm working on my growth. I didn't ask again. Tuesday, July 23rd, 7 p.m. The kitchen. The dishwasher. My arms around her waist. Stop begging for intimacy, Nate. It's pathetic. I let go. Stepped back. She didn't turn around. The dishwasher hummed. The kitchen light buzzed. I walked to the living room and sat in the chair and stared at the wall until she went to bed without saying goodnight. I didn't sleep in our bed that night. Went to the guest room. She didn't notice. Or didn't mention it. That was day 1. Wednesday, July 24th through August. I stopped. Everything. Not dramatically. Not with announcements. I didn't slam doors or sleep on the couch with a pillow and a point to make. I just receded. Like the tide going out. No morning kiss. She didn't notice for 3 days. No lunchtime texts. She noticed on day 5. Everything okay? Yeah. Busy at work. No sitting next to her on the couch. I took the chair. She glanced over once. Said nothing. No asking about her day. She started talking about it anyway. Then stopped when she realized I hadn't asked. Week 2. She texted at 6 p.m. Are you coming home for dinner? I was at Faro. Late service tonight. You've had late service 3 times this week. Season's picking up. The season wasn't picking up. I just couldn't sit in a house where wanting to touch my wife made me pathetic. The restaurant was the only place where everything I gave was wanted. I didn't have anyone who understood all of it back then. My sous chef saw me hurting, but didn't pry. My buddy Marco knew something was off, but didn't push. If you've ever carried something like this alone, you know why I'm telling this story now. Wednesday, July 31st. She started sleeping in the guest room. My back. The mattress is firmer in there. I said okay. She took her pillow, her charger, her book. The bedroom door stayed open. She closed hers. Night 2. Night 3. Night 7. Nobody talked about it. The guest room became her room. Our bed became my bed. The pronouns shifted without a conversation. I lay there one night and counted backward. Tried to remember the last time she'd reached for me. Not out of habit, out of want. Not a performative kiss at a dinner party. Not a hand on my shoulder for a photo. Actually reached for me because she wanted to feel me close. I couldn't find it. The memory wasn't there. Just a blank space where it used to be. Thursday, August 1st, dropped Owen at camp. Rachel was in the passenger seat. We passed a couple on Fremont Street, walking, her head on his shoulder, laughing. Normal. Easy. Rachel looked out her window. Away from them. Owen, from the back seat. They look happy. Neither of us answered. Saturday, August 3rd. I came home with groceries. She was on the couch, legs curled up, deep in her phone. I put the bags on the counter. Started unloading. I got that sourdough you like. From Ken's. And the good olive oil. The one from that shop on Hawthorne. Thanks. She didn't look up. I stood there holding a bottle of olive oil I'd walked 6 blocks out of my way to buy because she'd mentioned once, in passing, that she liked it. And she gave me thanks without lifting her eyes from a screen. I put the oil in the cabinet. Quietly. Didn't slam it. Didn't sigh. Just put it away and went to the restaurant an hour early. Tuesday, August 6th. Her mother called me. Carol. Sweet woman. Worries about everything. Nate, is Rachel okay? She sounds different on the phone. Distant. She's going through something. Is it the coach? Jenny mentioned something about a coach. Yeah, it's the coach. Carol was quiet for a moment. Her father went through something like this with me. 30 years ago, I got involved with a women's retreat group. They told me Richard was holding me back. I almost left him over it. What changed? I looked at my daughter, Jenny was 4, and asked myself, is this woman who barely knows me more right about my life than the man who built it with me? The answer was obvious once I actually asked it. Rachel hasn't asked that question yet. Then someone needs to help her hear it. Thursday, August 8th. Owen started coming to Faro after school. Just showed up one day with his backpack. Can I do homework here? Of course. He sat at table 4, near the kitchen pass. Did his math. Ate staff meal. Watched me prep. After 2 weeks it became routine. Every day, 3:30, backpack on table 4. One evening, rolling gnocchi, Owen watching from his perch. Dad, yeah bud. I like it here. It's calm. He went back to his book. I stood there with flour on my hands and my throat so tight I couldn't swallow. A 10-year-old chose a restaurant over his own home because the restaurant was calm. Let that sit for a second. Friday, August 9th, Rachel noticed. Why is Owen at the restaurant every day? He likes being there. He should be home. Doing homework here. He is doing homework. At table 4. It's weird, Nate. A 10-year-old hanging out at a restaurant. It's weird that he'd rather be there than here. Her jaw tightened. She heard what I was actually saying. Chose to ignore it. I want him home by 5. Ask him yourself. She didn't. Saturday, August 10th. She tried sweetness. Made breakfast. Eggs, the way I like them. Set the table with the cloth napkins we only use for company. I thought we could eat together this morning. Soft voice. Hand on my arm. Sure. We ate. She tried twice to start a conversation about us. I answered politely. Completely. Went nowhere. You've been distant. I'm right here. No, you're not. You're here, but you're not here. I'm giving you the space you asked for. I didn't ask for space. You told me to stop begging. I stopped. She set her fork down. Stared at me. Something moved behind her eyes. The beginning of a recognition she wasn't ready to have. That's not what I meant. It's what you said. I was having a bad day. It was a Tuesday. I was hugging you. You called me pathetic. She had no answer for that. Picked up her phone. Left the table. I heard her on a call 5 minutes later. Diane. Recalibrating. Monday, August 12th. Rachel went cold. Full ice age. 3 days without a word beyond logistics. Owen needs lunch money. Trash goes out tonight. The marriage reduced to a shared to-do list. Thursday, she tried a different angle. We were cleaning up after dinner, Owen in his room, and she mentioned a guy from her office. Sean asked me to lunch today. He said I seemed happier lately, that I had a glow. She watched my face while she said it, waiting for the flinch. The jealousy. Something. That's nice. Her mouth tightened. He's very charming. Good for Sean. She turned to the sink. I could feel the frustration radiating off her back. The playbook said, make him jealous he chases she has control. The playbook was written by someone who'd never met a man who'd already stopped playing. Friday night, she went out. Didn't say where. Came home at midnight. Smelled like wine and someone else's perfume. A restaurant. A bar, somewhere she'd been close to other people while her husband wiped tables alone. I said nothing. Saturday, she cracked. You're punishing me. For what? For what I said. You know what? I'm not punishing you. I'm respecting your boundary. That's not a boundary. I was frustrated. Your frustration told me what you actually think of me. I heard you. Diane says your withdrawal is a control tactic. Diane says a lot of things. $300 at a time. Her eyes filled. She turned away. I stayed in the chair. The distance between the chair and the couch was 8 feet. It felt like the Pacific. Tuesday, August 20th. Owen's back-to-school night. We walked in together. Teacher introduced herself. Owen is such a thoughtful kid. He wrote an essay about his dad's restaurant, about how food connects people. Rachel's smile was flawless. Her hand went to my shoulder. The performance of a marriage for a 20-minute parent-teacher conference. Walking to the car, her hand disappeared. The shoulder she'd touched went cold. Owen was 10 feet ahead. Didn't look back. Wednesday, August 21st. I found out from Marco. His wife Lisa worked with a woman named Tanya. Tanya was in Diane's reclamation circle. Same coaching program Rachel was in. 8 women. Weekly group calls. Bro, Marco said. Lisa told me something. That coach, Diane, she tells her clients their husbands are energy drains. That physical affection is trauma bonding. She's got a whole framework where anytime a man wants closeness, it's reframed as emotional extraction. Emotional extraction. Yeah, your wife wanting to hold your hand becomes, in Diane's language, you extracting emotional labor from her body without consent. I was standing in Pharaoh's walk-in cooler, surrounded by hanging duck and shells of mise en place. Cold air on my face. How many women? 8 in the current circle. Lisa said 2 have already filed for divorce. Tanya's on the fence. And here's the thing. Diane charges a premium for the separation track. Extra sessions. Worksheets. A dedicated Slack channel for women going through divorce. She's making money off destroyed marriages. She's running a business, Nate. Your wife is a customer. I leaned against the shelf. A container of demi-glace tipped, and I caught it. My hands were steady. The rest of me wasn't. There's more. Tanya told Lisa that Rachel talks about you in the group sessions. tells them you're emotionally unavailable, that you refuse to respect her boundaries, that you prioritize the restaurant over her. She said I was pathetic for hugging her. In the group, you're the villain. She's the woman finding her strength. The walk-in compressor hummed. I put the demi-glace back on the shelf, straightened every container on the rack, kneaded my hands to do something while my chest figured out how to keep working. She'd rewritten the whole story. In her version, I was the cold one, the absent one, the one who wouldn't try. And 7 women she'd never met were cheering her on based on a version of me that didn't exist. That night, I went home and looked at her differently. Not with anger, with the specific sadness of watching someone you love describe you to strangers as the enemy, while you're in the next room making their son dinner. She was on the couch. Phone. Diane's group chat, probably. Typing with both thumbs. Urgent. Important. The most engaged I'd seen her in weeks, but not with me. Not with Owen. With an audience of strangers who knew my name, but not my face. Owen ate at the restaurant, I said. Chicken Milanese. He's getting good at plating. He shouldn't be eating there every night. He likes it. He's 10. He doesn't get to decide. She didn't look up. And honestly, Nate, you using Owen to guilt me is exactly what Diane talks about. I stood in the doorway and let that sentence pass through me. My son choosing to eat dinner with me was now ammunition. Something I was using. Another framework. Another reframe. Every natural, human, ordinary thing between a father and his child, weaponized by a woman who'd never met either of us. I walked to the guest room. My guest room now. Sat on the edge of the bed. Stared at my hands. Cook's hands. Burns and calluses and flour in the creases. Hands that built a restaurant, held a newborn, made pasta for strangers who became regulars who became something like community. Pathetic hands, apparently. Wednesday, August 21st, Owen brought his essay home. The one his teacher had mentioned. What my dad does. 2 handwritten pages. My dad makes food for people. Not fast food. Real food. He makes the pasta by hand and it takes a long time, but he says you can't rush things that matter. Sometimes I help him roll it, and he doesn't get mad if I mess up. He just shows me again. I think that's what being good at something looks like. You just show people again. I read it in the restaurant kitchen after close. Sat on an overturned bucket. Read it 3 times. The 3rd time, I noticed the last line. My mom says the restaurant takes too much of Dad's time. But I think the restaurant is where Dad gets to be Dad. And I like who he is there. I folded it. Put it in my apron pocket. Carried it for 2 weeks. Thursday, August 22nd. Portland Monthly. A food writer had come to Faro 3 weeks earlier. Quiet dinner, no announcement. The review dropped Thursday morning. Faro is the restaurant Portland doesn't know it needs. Intimate, uncompromising, and cooked with the kind of attention that feels personal. Nate Russo's handmade pappardelle with braised rabbit is the best pasta dish in the city. My phone exploded. Reservations booked out 4 weeks in 2 days. Staff celebrating. Marco popping a bottle at family meal. I called Rachel. Hey, Portland Monthly reviewed Faro. It's really good. That's nice. That's nice. 2 words. The same tone you'd use for someone telling you they found a parking spot. We're booked out a month. Great. Can you pick up Owen from practice? I have a call. Diane. Of course. Owen read the review on my phone at the restaurant that night. His face lit up. Dad, they said your pasta is the best in the city. Pretty cool, right? I'm going to bring this to school. He folded the printout and put it in his backpack like it was treasure. Friday, August 23rd. An invitation arrived. Portland Food and Wine Festival, a showcase for the city's top restaurants. Faro was invited for the first time. I told Rachel at dinner. When is it? October 12th. That's a Saturday. I might have plans. It's the biggest event in Portland food. This is a huge deal for the restaurant. Everything's a huge deal for the restaurant. She stood up, took her plate to the sink. I've been telling Diane, you're married to that place. I'm just someone who lives in the same house. Owen was at the table. His fork stopped mid-bite. He looked at her, then at me, then at his plate. He didn't say anything, just stopped eating. Sunday, September 1st, Rachel came to the restaurant. First time in months. She walked in during service, sat at the bar, watched me work. After close, she stayed. I miss this, she said. Coming here. Watching you. You stopped coming. I know. Why? She looked at her hands. Diane said it was enabling your avoidance. That by supporting the restaurant, I was participating in my own neglect. Your coach told you that supporting your husband's career was self-harm. She didn't say it like that. That's exactly what she said. Rachel. Silence. She ordered a glass of Barolo. Drank it slowly. Watched me close up like she used to. Do you still love me? She asked. I'm still here. That's not an answer. You told me my love was pathetic. You want me to say it again so you can let your coach reframe it as a boundary violation. She flinched. Set down the glass. Left without finishing it. That was Sunday night. Tuesday night. Are you even coming home? Wednesday, September 4th. I came home at midnight. She was awake. Sitting at the kitchen table in the dark. We need to talk. Okay. You've changed. Yes. I want the old Nate back. The old Nate got called pathetic for putting his arms around his wife. I told you. I was having a bad day. I talked to your sister last week, Rachel. Her face went still. Jenny told me about the group. 8 women. Diane's reclamation circle. She told me you described me as emotionally unavailable. That I refuse to respect your boundaries. That I'm married to the restaurant. Rachel's hands went flat on the table. Jenny also told me that 2 women in that group already filed for divorce. That Diane runs a premium separation track. Extra sessions, extra fees, a dedicated channel for women leaving their husbands. She's not coaching you, Rachel. She's converting you. That's not. You called me pathetic for hugging you in our kitchen. Those weren't your words. That was her framework coming out of your mouth. Emotional extraction, trauma bonding, energy drain. These are things she taught you to call love. You don't understand what I've been going through. I know exactly what you've been going through. You've been paying $300 twice a week for a woman to teach you that your husband's affection is a threat. And when I stopped, when I gave you exactly what she said you needed, you panicked. Because the silence proved she was wrong. Rachel was shaking. You want to know what I've been going through? I come home every night to a house where I'm not allowed to touch my wife, not allowed to miss her, not allowed to want her. Because wanting her makes me pathetic. My son eats dinner at my restaurant because it's calmer than his own home. And you sit in group sessions telling strangers I'm the problem. Stop. No. I stopped once. You're the one who texted asking if I was coming home. So hear this. I am not pathetic for loving you. I am not broken for wanting to hold my wife. And I am done being the villain in a story you're paying someone to write. She pressed her hands to her face. The crying that came out wasn't coached, wasn't curated. It was the sound of a woman hearing herself clearly for the first time in months. A sound from the hallway. Owen, bare feet on hardwood. He stood in the doorway in his pajamas, baseball glove in his hand. He'd been sleeping with it since the season ended. Dad, are you guys okay? Yeah, bud. Go back to bed. He looked at his mother, then at me. Then, quiet as anything. Mom, Dad's not the bad guy. He's the best guy I know. He turned and padded back down the hall. Rachel watched him go. Something in her face broke open. Not the coach version, not the boundary-setting version, not the version that sat in Diane's circle and called me cold. The mother version. The one that just heard her son defend his father because she wouldn't. What have I been doing? She whispered. You've been listening to someone who profits when your marriage fails. I didn't see it. I know. The things I said to that group about you. Nate, if you heard what I know what you said. Jenny told me. It wasn't true. None of it was true. The word pathetic was true. You said that one yourself. She couldn't look at me. How do we fix this? First, Diane goes. Not next week. Now. Tonight you cancel every session, leave the group chat, and block the number. Non-negotiable. Okay. Second, you stop telling strangers about our marriage. If something's wrong, you tell me. At this table. In this kitchen. Not on a video call with a woman who charges by the hour to take you apart. Okay. Third, and this one's going to be hard. You need to understand something. I stopped reaching for you because you made it unsafe. Not uncomfortable. Unsafe. You need to sit with that. She nodded. Tears running. No sound now. Just the quiet kind that comes when someone's too exhausted to perform. I didn't reach across the table. Didn't take her hand. Wasn't ready for that yet. Nate. Yeah. I miss your arms around me. I know. I miss putting them there. That was September. October 12th. Portland Food and Wine Festival. Pharaoh's booth. Handmade pappardelle, braised rabbit, the dish Portland Monthly called the best in the city. Owen was with me behind the table. Apron on. Helping plate. Telling customers about the rabbit. My dad braises it for 6 hours. You can't rush it. He was beaming. Rachel showed up at 4. No Diane. No phone. She stood in line like everyone else. When she got to the front, Owen handed her a plate. "Mom, try it. It's Dad's best one." She tasted it, and she looked at me over that plate with an expression I hadn't seen in a year. The one from Pok Pok. The one from Cathedral Park. The one that says, "I see you. Not what you provide. Not what you represent. You." "It's perfect," she said. She wasn't talking about the pasta. That night, closing down the booth, Owen asleep in the car, Rachel helped me pack. We carried sheet pans across the parking lot in the dark, our breath visible in the October air. She reached for my hand. I felt it, her fingers finding mine, uncertain, careful, like she wasn't sure she was still allowed. I let her hold on. Didn't squeeze back. Not yet. But I didn't pull away. Some things take 6 hours to braise. Some take longer. You can't rush it. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.